Good morning, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Thank y'all so much for tapping back in to see what I have to say. I promise y'all, it truly does mean the world to me. But with that being said, what are we talking about? We're talking about Quant Network in this one, okay, you guys? Follow me on this. Quant Network, to me, is the opportunity of a millennium. People truly do not understand the ecosystem that Quant is building out globally. Today, we're talking about something called Project Agora, okay? Follow me on this. You may have heard of Project Agora. We've actually had an update from the Bank of International Settlements in regards to Project Agora. Follow me on this. All roads lead to Quant and Overledger. Quant Networks, white labeled software as a service. Truly understand and see what's being laid out. I promise you, you won't be sorry. Follow me on this video, okay? So, in this first video, actually, before we get started with the first video, I want to say thank you. Thank you for everybody who's liked, who's commented, who's subscribed. I truly, truly, truly appreciate each and every single one of you. I appreciate all of the comments. I go back and forth with you guys. I truly do. Like, y'all rock, for real, okay? But Project Agora is literally, you guys, it is the Bank of Mexico, the Bank of Japan, the Bank of Korea, I believe, the Swiss National Bank, the Bank of England, Banque de France, and the Federal Reserve of New York. Project Agora is literally these central banks coming together, doing cross-border payments and settlements in tokenized central bank money. And they now have a commercial bank layer. People like BNY Mellon is a part of it, which is now tokenizing commercial bank money and doing cross-border payments and settlements. Truly see what's happening right now. And this is Quant Network's ecosystem. Follow me on this. So, we have this first video come from my boy, Maximus Crypto. Bro, you rock. He is going over the New York Fed's announcement of them joining Project Agora. Follow me on this. I'm always going somewhere, and I will be right back.
New York Fed to participate in joint international research effort on what? Tokenization and cross-border payments. Federal Reserve Bank of New York Innovation Center yesterday announced that it will participate in an international technical research project that will explore whether tokenization of central bank money and commercial bank deposits operating on a shared programmable ledger can improve wholesale cross-border payments. Project Agora, look at that. A new effort led by the BIS Innovation Hub, partnership with the Institute of International Finance, will bring together 7 central banks, financial institutions from each of their respective jurisdictions to research ways to increase the speed and transparency of international wholesale payments and lower associated costs and risks. The project will focus on overcoming common structural inefficiencies in cross-border payments today related to differing legal, regulatory, and technical requirements, operating hours, time zones, you get it, right? Look at this statement. Quote, we look forward to participating in Project Agora alongside our central bank collaborators and continuing to build on the NYIC's contributions to the public dialogue on the future of money and payments, said Per von Zielowitz, director of the New York Innovation Center. There's just a tab more I want to read about this. Including the New York Fed, the 7 participating central banks are who? Bank of England, obviously Quant Networks, connection. Bank of France, aka Banque de France. Bank of Japan. Bank of Korea. Bank of Mexico. And the Swiss National Bank, the BIS, will issue a call for interest. Call for interest? And I have that on the other tab. For financial institutions interested in collaborating on the project. The BIS and participating institutions will detail the findings of Project Agora through public reports.
Now you guys just saw exactly what Project Agora is. You see the New York Fed and Banque de France and the Bank of Korea, the Bank of Japan. This is insane, you guys. And to know that this is Quant Networks ecosystem. This is their wheelhouse. This is with the Bank of International Settlements. We've already tied Quant to things like Project Rosalind and the Bank of International Settlements. And this Project Agora essentially is the literally regulated liability network. It is literally the same thing. It is these banks coming together, tokenizing commercial bank money, tokenizing central bank money, and doing cross-border payments and settlements. Truly understand and see what is truly being laid out right in front of our faces, and things that Quant have already been named in. They were named in the RLN specifically. They were named in Project Rosalind specifically. They were named by Oracle. I have a video coming out about Oracle. Understand, Larry Ellison is the second richest man in the world. Oracle is just one of multiple companies that he owns. And understand, if Quant Network is doing Oracle blockchain platform solutions for all of their customers, that's 430,000 customers around the world, will one day be on blockchain, because it is the fourth industrial revolution. And if you're going to be an Oracle customer, you have no choice but to utilize Overledger, that announcement that was made this past February. These are major things, Quant Networks ecosystem. So we're jumping even deeper into Project Agora. Okay, we have an update from the Bank of International Settlements talking about Project Agora. Okay, and I will be right back.
I think it's worth saying that there is tremendous impetus that's coming from our private sector partners on this project. You know, we have 43 private sector institutions that are part of Project Agora, as well as the 7 central banks. And what's really distinctive about this project is that it's not simply a tokenization platform that is siloed within one institution. It is very much interoperable infrastructure. So it has central bank money, which is in the same venue as the tokenized deposits. And so you can imagine settlement across the tokenized deposits of different institutions, not to mention actually the tokenized deposits across different currencies even. And so it's a very, very important leap that we're envisaging here. And the role of the central bank is absolutely key because settlement in central bank money is what actually ultimately enables bringing all the pieces together. So the technology by itself is not the new thing because many commercial banks already have their siloed tokenization platforms. But the key is to really bring all of those together to have a platform that is interoperable and across all the major currencies in the world. So that's the big leap. And so I don't think we should underestimate how important it is. And you can imagine that for the private sector, this really is a game changer. So it's really the private sector partners that have really been pushing us very hard on this.
Tokenization is transforming a wide range of assets, from currencies to carbon credits, funds to real estate. But unless these tokens are portable, they are destined to live in walled gardens, unable to reach their full potential. Connecting tokens to other blockchains without the right controls and security leaves your assets vulnerable. And building the right connection is complex, time-consuming, and expensive. Many bridges have poorly coded smart contracts and make use of escrow to lock your tokens until destination ones are minted. Such bridges are often subject to cyber attacks. In contrast, Overledger's bridges provide complete control of tamper-proof smart contracts at both ends, allowing tokens in one blockchain to be transferred for equal tokens in another. Created by experts in cybersecurity, our bridges burn and mint tokens in a single function, using the latest security protocols, removing the need for escrow and keeping your assets safe. Whether it's to trade digital currencies, increase liquidity for alternative assets, or create wider access to tokenized bonds, Overledger allows you to create secure bridges without any coding, quickly and with confidence, delivering interoperability with trust, resilience, and programmability built in. Overledger Platform, the enterprise standard for building on blockchain.
Now you tell me, when he was talking about that interoperability, you tell me that wasn't Overledger. Like, you guys, it is literally being pieced out right in front of our face, and Quant Network time and time and time again is being named in major central bank, commercial bank, and multinational corporations. And it's like nobody's paying attention. Everybody's so worried about price action. Okay, is the price where any of us want it to be right now? Absolutely not. But this is a gift. This is retail's last chance at accumulating QNT at these levels. Once this institutional capital starts flowing through this network, because Quant is building out something called literally the institutional internet of value.
Institutional internet of value. Current layer 2 rollup architectures typically operate on a single chain, bringing same fragmentation and limitations of a layer 1 in a world where networks are inherently interconnected and interoperable. They foresee what's going to happen near future, but with Quant Fusion, they can begin that journey today with new layer 2.5 architecture consisting of multi-ledger rollups, securely and seamlessly bringing corporates and institutions on-chain. Fusion enables multi-ledger rollups to span multiple layer 1 blockchains, and of course preserving privacy, unifying fragmented assets, so on and so forth. It's purpose-built for internet scale networks and enterprise environments. Fusion allows tokenized assets on private blockchains to safely, seamlessly interoperate with public ones. It's a breakthrough, unlocks trillions of private markets, tokenized money, regulate digital assets, enable them to run securely across blockchains while meeting the strict privacy, security, and compliance standards required by institutions.
The impact of blockchain to finance is actually just as big as the impact of the internet to society. It really is transformative and changing the entire underlying architecture and the infrastructure of what we use today. Blockchain allows us to have smart money. Smart money allows us to program new types of logic, new types of functionality into money to do things that is really fit for purpose for the 21st century.
Like, truly understand and see that this is the onboarding of the institutions. Once that new floor is met, that floor will never go back to being what we know it to be once the institutional capital start flowing through these networks. People need to truly understand and see that the fourth industrial revolution is happening, and I'm bringing you multiple videos about multiple different countries, all doing things like stablecoin legislation and onboarding stablecoins into their everyday financial needs. I just brought you Japan. Of course, we know what happened here in America with the Genius Act, and we know the Clarity Act is also on its way. Truly see this is happening right now, okay? Follow me on this. But Project Agora. So during EBA Day, that whole suite of things, the Gilbertian Quant Network CEO was on a panel talking about Project Agora. Like, these things are truly being pieced out right in front of our faces. And it's like nobody's paying attention. Is it just Quant? No. Things like Ripple are a major part of this whole entire shift into Web3. Huge. Now, I brought you this video before, but since this is a Project Agora video, I'm going to bring it again because these things matter. The things that was said yesterday directly affects today. So these things that Mr. Nader Shareed from literally BNY Mellon, the bank that literally now custodies Ripple's stable coin reserves, was on a stage, a Ripple Swell stage, talking about Project Agora. Ripple is there. Quant is there. These are things that are being laid out time and time and time again. How many times do you see Quant and Ripple in the same space and same room? All the time. Another name that's starting to pop up a lot is hedera. Truly understand when world leaders are doing things, and now you have things like Quant and hedera being a Discover member at Sibos. That's a major deal, because that means they're not paying to be there. They're literally being brought as, you can now come see this new innovative technology and how can it help you in your everyday processes, in your governments, in your banks, in your corporations. Truly understand what is being laid out right in front of our faces, you guys. And it is being served to us on a platinum platter, because price action isn't where some people want it to be. And they say things like, well, I sold all mine, or I'm getting ready to sell all of mine. That's a personal decision. I can't say anything. I'm like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can never make him drink. And this is a fact. I will give you all the information that I know about these amazing Web3 companies. I will pour out my heart to you guys to let you guys know everything that I'm retaining and the way that I'm seeing how things are being laid out. But I can never make you act. That is something that you would do on your own. And if you choose to do that, and you know it's been a couple individuals, I'm gonna do a video about it. But if you choose to do that, that is completely up to you. And your future self will have to either be happy about that decision or kick themselves over that decision. But that's every decision in life. So some from Nada Shareed. I had to get that out there a little bit, because there's a couple people in the comments lately about selling because of price action, but it's so much bigger than price action. What's being built out, this ecosystem is incredible. I'll be right back.
Nader Suri, I lead our digital and corporate banking team at BNY. BNY is a global systemically important financial institution. We're known as the world's largest custodian with over 50 trillion of assets under custody, but we also are a large payments bank, and we are also a large investment manager with over 2 trillion of assets under management. And we have certainly been leaning into the digital asset space. So look forward to the discussion. I mean, I'll start. Listen, we've been, even before thinking about kind of having a digital asset custody offering, we've been engaged in the stablecoin space, just naturally providing traditional services to custody and manage reserves of stablecoin reserves. I think that became incredibly important, back to the point of resiliency, to have a proper, resilient, and well-known bank, be the custodian of those reserves. So, we think stablecoins have a place in the market. We think they offer the most realistic realization of the original use case of Bitcoin and crypto, which is efficient, low-cost payments. We also think that there is room for other projects, right? So, we recently announced that we're engaging in Project Agora, which is a collaboration with the BIS, central banks, and other commercial banks around deposit tokens. And I think that fits into the overall context of tokenization and tokenizing financial assets, which we're going to continue to see more and more projects around. I think 2025 is going to be that year where you're actually going to see the bridging of TradFi and digital assets. You're actually going to see these use cases. You're already seeing it grow with like BlackRock Middle. You'll see it with other projects. And then I'm really excited about the ability for banks like us to start supporting the space in a way that they need to be supported, right? So 24/7, 365, on-ramps, off-ramps, ability to support settlement in that way. I think that is the goal, is to meet the industry where they are.
Now you see and understand, this is the reason why, and I've said this before, when the SEC had that banks could not custody crypto, BNY Mellon was the only bank in this country that got an exception for that. And that was when they joined Project Agora. And they got that exemption that they can now tokenize deposits and work in the realm of Web3. That was the only bank in the country before this new administration actually flipped over. And now the OCC, or Rodney E. Hud, has come out and said, you all can now play in the realm of Web3. But before that, it was only one bank and one bank only, and that was BNY Mellon. Why? Because they were part of Project Agora. Truly understand and see what's truly have happened right in front of our face. And I threw that Quant network video in there, showing you their tokenization little commercial thing that they brought out maybe about a year or so ago. These things that have been being laid out, I think a lot of retail thinks that it's just to be happen overnight. But y'all, anything that's worth having is worth waiting for. I'm not saying wait for forever. And I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Be smart about whatever. But as long as the fundamentals of the project are still the same, as long as they keep on bringing out dynamic announcement after dynamic announcement, things like a Overledger Fusion 2.5 to bring on the institutions into Web3, like truly see the vision of what's being laid out. We're at a point of governments are codifying law, which means the institutions eventually will have no choice but to operate in certain perimeters. When it comes to things like the internet, when the internet now sends value instantly, they don't have no choice but to adopt. That's why secure asset transfer protocol coming out IETF is so important, that Quant network is also tied to. Truly see what's being laid out. The institutional internet of value, like Gilbert Verdian said in the video that I brought you like maybe 2 or 3 videos ago from my boy Maximus Crypto. I got another one coming too from my boy Incast Official. Truly understand, truly see what's being laid out right in front of our faces. And if you let price action in 2025 shake you out of the most incredible chance that retail has ever had in instant generational wealth, because that's what this is going to be like. You don't even truly understand once a go live truly happens and you have true onboarding of Web3 processes now flowing through a hedera, flowing through a Quant network, flowing through a XRP or XLM or XDC. Like these processes are moving the blockchain. We've had every single top of every single agency in this country all come out with either speeches or reports or both saying we're moving to blockchain. Nobody's paying attention though. And if America is doing it, that means the world is doing it. Follow me what I'm saying, you guys. This is the most incredible opportunity we've ever had in Web3 because we're getting ready to have true onboarding of the institutions into Web3. And it's like I said, it's not just a Quant network, but it is, if Quant network succeeds, that means all of Web3 succeeds, even interoperability blockchains. I'll go into a video about that as well. Some of these other protocols that say they're interoperable, Quant network also sits over them. They are the Overledger. Follow me on this. I'm always going somewhere. If you made it all the way through this whole video, I want you to type in Agora, because what Quant Network has going on with Project Agora is incredible. And y'all, this ride of Web3 and the space of Quant, knowing about Quant Network in 2025, I promise y'all, we're going to sit back 5 years from now. We're going to sit back 10 years from now. We're going to sit back 20 years from now, because the infrastructure that they are cementing themselves in, and with a tested, tried, and true product. I promise y'all, look into the Genius Act, read it. And they talk about things about programmability. They talk about things like interoperability. Understand that is Overledger. I'm trying to tell y'all. Just like it's the same thing with the Bank of England, it's the same thing with the Federal Reserve of America. It is the same thing with all of the Bank of International Settlements and all of the people that they've been playing in things like Project Agora, Project Rosalind, Project Hamilton, Project Helvetia, Project Polaris. It's insane how many projects it has been. And all of these things are now cultivating into literally now governments codifying law so that the realm of Web3 can be a reality and the fourth industrial revolution truly is birthed. People are going to be using distributed ledger technology and not even understand or know. They're just going to know that things got faster and things got cheaper. When they now get paid instantly. They now, when they move money or send money, it doesn't cost as much. That's the only thing. That's the only thing they're going to know. They're not going to know nothing about the literally infrastructure and fabric of it all. And if you tune into a channel like this, or anybody else that's bringing value about the true Web3 players, things like the ISOs, like truly understand what's being laid out, okay? I appreciate all of y'all. I know this was a long one. I know this at the end, it was a little bit of a rant, and I'm sorry about that, I promise. But it's just, I feel like I just feel like Quant is, people can't even truly understand what it's going to be, because it's going to be something. I believe it's going to be the first 7-figure token. It's going to do it before Bitcoin. My thoughts. But anyway, till the next time, y'all already know. Like I said, you made it all the way through, type in Agora. That way I know you rock with your boy through this entire video. I appreciate y'all. I promise you I do. Till the next time. Peace out.